Peter. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are, whenever you are listening to this. Welcome to our Mastermind series. Tonight, we're going to talk all about the importance of having confidence and belief in what we are doing here as a coach to be successful. Erica is taking it away, and I'm so excited that you guys are able to jump on live. We'll have a Q&A at the end. And if you're watching this recording, if you have anything to say or any questions, reach out to the coach that invited you here or sent you that link. So with that, I will give you Erica. Tell us a little about yourself and start your stuff.
Thank you, Donna. So my name is Erica Russo, but you see Saporis because that's my maiden name. Much easier to spell now. And I've been a coach for, 8 years now, which is crazy to say. Yeah, every time I open the online office, it says 2013, and I'm like, oh, I'm an old coach. But I really, in the beginning, struggled with confidence and belief in myself. And I think that is why it has taken me so long, like about, I would say the 7-year mark is where I really understood what it was. And I was like, screw it, going all in, don't care. And it took me 7 years to get to that place, guys. Like, that is way too long. Because and you hear on the national wake up call, like, this person just signed up and they got to diamond. And then, you try not to do the comparison game, but you can't help it, like you do. And you're like, why not me? Why not me? So I had to dig really deep, and I understood why I was not succeeding, because I was listening to everybody else but me. And this should be only about you, not your husband, your wife, your daughter, whoever, your friends, your family, whoever tells you can't do this should be a great motivator to show them that you can do it. And I guess it started I think if you go into it and you're just a confident person and you're like, I don't care, I can talk to anyone, I'll invite anyone, said no one ever. I don't know a new coach that was like, I can't wait to start inviting. No new coach says that. And I think I just didn't know anything at the beginning. And I was so excited about the products and what they had done for me. So Shakeology, I had pretty bad stomach issues, and Shakeology, within 3 weeks of drinking it, I was like, wow, what is this magic potion that has I don't want to say healed, but really, really helped my gut. And then obviously the home workouts, and you guys know the spiel. But I was just so excited that I just wanted to tell everyone. I had no idea what coaching was. I think most of us have come in as challengers, and I just was like, yeah, sign me up. I'll do whatever you tell me to do, and that wears off. So did 21 Day Fix come out? 2007, 14?
2014.
Thank you. Okay, so that was my year as a coach. Signed up in 2013, 2014, 21 Day Fix came out. And my business exploded. I got to diamond right away, and then fizzled out because I got in my head. I started doing all the trainings. I started listening to this person, listening to that person. And I didn't believe in myself as a coach and as a person, to be honest. I didn't see myself as that elite coach. I always looked up to them when I went to Summit, and I said, God, they're so cool. I wish I could be like them. And I think it takes a lot of personal development, which is why people preach it, which is why it is our vital behavior. I think the most important, because that is what has gotten me to where I am today. Without personal development, because I didn't think I needed it in the beginning. I was like, I'm a positive person, which we all think we are, but maybe we're not. And nobody knows everything about anything anyways. There's always something you can be learning about yourself. Whatever your favorite podcast is, share it with your team, share it with your friends, because you never know what they could be learning from what you have learned. And yeah, Charity, you said, I did not think I needed it either. I thought it was crazy, and now I can't see my life without it. And I don't know what it takes to click in us, but for me, I had not gone through a lot, but like we've all gone through a lot in our lives. I grew up as a really shy kid. So when I was in first grade, this, after, like, I'm 38, right? So we had these big metal chairs, and the teacher was like, okay, end of class, story time. Put the chairs on the desk. So we all went around, put the chairs on the desk. I was in the back, of course, because I didn't want to get called on. Much like when I'm on a Zoom, I'm like, don't call on me, like everybody else. So I remember, like, boom, this big metal chair hit me in the head. And I was like, please don't look at me. Like, it hurt so bad. And I still remember this, but I was like, just please don't look at me. Please. Hopefully they didn't even hear it. Of course they heard it. It was a big thud. And I probably said, ow. But that's how shy I was. That's how not confident in myself I was. And as you, like, middle school, God, that's the most awkward phase ever. And then I realized, like, adolescence, oh my goodness, I'm attracted to women and not men. And that freaked me out. And of course, I went back into my shell. If I was going to come out of my shell at all, I retreated back into the closet, I guess. And that put me, up until college, it put me in a place where I didn't feel comfortable being myself. And I think in some way, in some shape or form, we've all had, like, I'm sure you guys can think of one story that you've had that has put you in that place. And it's like, ugh, I really can't be my true authentic self. Beachbody allows us to be our true authentic self if you allow it to. So it's not saying, like, you have to be a cookie cutter coach, you have to, do things this way. I mean, within reason. Red light stories we tell ourselves. What is that? Red light stories.
It's something that Bob, I think is his name, Bob Helig. Melissa knows a lot about him. It's like something traumatic or something that's happened to you or something that prevents you from stepping into the greatness that you already know that you can do. It's like this, it's just like a complete bullshit story that you tell yourself. Yeah, it's called a red light story. But usually something has happened to you or caused you to not have confidence in yourself for whatever reason. It could just be that you're afraid of, like, what people are going to think because people have said no in the past or something with your childhood or a past failed marriage, or it could be a number of things.
I love that. Red light stories. I'm going to use that. Thank you. So I think Beachbody is really what got me to the point of, and again, it took me a while, but finally to say, enough is enough. Why am I listening to all these other people when I truly know that I can do this? I can be that person up on stage at Summit. I can't, like, there's no difference between me and them. And I can't stress personal development enough. So if you're not reading or listening to personal development every single day, like when you're doing laundry, when you're doing dishes, whenever you can, feed your brain with that positive energy and find something you like. Like, my coach is a guy, and he recommended some, like, in your face dude, and that's wasn't my style, so I didn't connect with him. So talk to your coach, talk to your friends, talk to other coaches. I'm sure they have something that they connect with and maybe you would connect with, spiritual or whatever it is, Disney, I don't know. But I think personal development, number one, and the second, honestly, it's the two things that will give you more confidence in this business and in life, just doing it. Like, when I said in 2014, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just did it because I was so freaking excited. if I look back at my messages, oh Lord, like scary. Like, do you want to join me? This is great, blah, 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 blah. And then no response. So obviously. But actually, that's when my business grew. So maybe I did get some responses just because I was so excited. So, what is that phrase that you jump and build your wings on the way down, right? Just do it. If you send out a scary message, close your eyes, press send, it's not going to kill you. Like, we have, I forget what it's called, but there's something in the brain that is still with us from the cavemen era, and it tells you to be scared. That is literally like what we're meant to do, is be fearful, because it's going to save our lives from the woolly mammoth or whatever, which we don't have to deal with now. So I call them like scaries. They're like, ooh, it's scary to send a message. No, it's not. You're not going to die. And it's going to give you more confidence. So just pick one thing a day. Like, don't overwhelm yourself and say, I'm going to message 50 people if you just started. Start with one, you know? Charity's laughing because probably your coach did that. Yeah. I never, if my coach was like, you have to message 100 people, I would have been like, bye, I can't do this, you know, and I would have let the fear get the best of me. But she said, just reach out, you know, to your warm market, start with one, start with two. When you get some confidence, because that does build confidence. And when you sign up that first coach or customer, you know what I'm talking about, because that brings you like, wow, I did it, you know, and you're like very proud of yourself. So just go for those little wins. And along the way, that's going to get you to the point of where you're just like, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. One of my favorite podcasts is, I think someone wrote, Josh Coates, Trent Shelton, Gary Vee, 5-second rule. Yes. All of these are so good. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think the biggest, those two things that build confidence and belief in yourself simultaneously are getting out of your own way, like just doing it, send that invite, and personal development every single day. Just grow yourself. And even if you don't, like, hopefully we're all doing Beachbody in 20 years, but even if you're not, you will become a better person. You will become a better partner. You will become a better friend. It just explodes to all the areas in your life. If you told me I would be on a call speaking about confidence, I would laugh in your face like 10 years ago. Yeah, right. I wouldn't even, first of all, I didn't know what Zoom was, but second of all, I would not have been on this call. So I kind of want to, sorry, I got to go. Great job. Thanks for joining. Have a great night. And so I wanted to kind of go around. I'm going to put some people in the spot. Sorry, but this is what it's about. And we do it every week, so you shouldn't be surprised. So I want to kind of go around and just one story that you have, like my chair story, that you thought was like, not your like lowest point, but something that you can remember that kind of took that confidence away, like Charity was saying, and how Beachbody has helped you overcome that. So I'm just going to go crazy here. So Brianna, you are first next to me. So just unmute yourself.
Okay. As far as overcoming stuff, Charity knows this story. A couple of years ago, really has to do with Charity. I watched her and saw what she wanted, and I was in my feels, and I didn't want her positivity in my life. And so I literally like unfriended her from every platform that we were friends on, and I stalked her from my husband's social media accounts. And I had gotten to a point where, like, okay, I was ready to do it for myself. This was years ago that I had deleted her, like back 2015, 2016, 2019, I decided I was ready to do something, and I did it on my own. But as far as like getting healthy for myself, but my issue was while I was getting healthy for myself, I wasn't toning what I had. And so I was slim, but that's all it was I was slim. Like I had no muscle mass or anything. And the one thing that keeps coming back to my mind is when I was like 7 or 8, I couldn't lift myself up out of the water, like something simple. And I was like, I can't do that. And then I was in a car accident in 2019 after I'd lost a lot of weight that wasn't toned, it was just slim, and gained it all back. And then I reached out to Charity in January and said, okay, I'm ready to have back what I had, but I want it all toned. And that's where we're at. And I have to say, the weight is not coming off as fast as it was back in 2019, but I got a booty. So I'll take it. Like I woke up this morning and I did my energize, and I put in our bod group, I was like, best part of waking up is having a dump truck. So there we go. But it took me hitting rock bottom not once, but twice. And I was like, you know what? I want what Charity has, and kind of envious of it. And I know her, and she can get me started. And that's kind of why we're not back at square one, but we're on square two. So that's us.
That's amazing. And congrats on your booty.
Thank you. It's the little things.
It really is. Okay, Donna.
All right. For me, a limiting belief that I had to get over with coaching was when I was young, I got married to, it was a very bad relationship. And I had been with him since I was 13, got married at 18, bought a house, did all the things till about 26, 27. And it was abusive and very verbally abusive. And it took a long time for me to get over those things that I had been told, and the negative feelings. Like my husband really works really hard to continue to build me up, because I am very insecure at times about certain things, including the way I look, the way I act. I didn't have a lot of girlfriends because this guy was really controlling. So I said I didn't like girls. Like I didn't want to have girlfriends. Like I just, and that protected me in my bubble. So when I did this, I had to all of a sudden like pretend I had all these great friends, like go out and make friends. And I'm like, oh shit, I hate girls. They're so drama, and that's something that I had put in my head for so long to protect myself from the ridicule or the insecurities that I had built up. And so coaching really saved me. It brought me out. It proved to my brain that those things weren't true, that I was lovable, that I was liked, that women weren't demons from hell. Like they really were nice, and you could really do life with them and be encouraged by them. And I don't know where I would be without coaching, but it was definitely something that coaching grew me through and got me over it. And that's why I think my transformation is so much bigger on the inside. Like I might have lost 70 pounds with Beachbody, but I am a completely new person internally, because of I provided proof to my brain more so of the negative things, because we're always looking for proof of past experiences. And when you tell yourself those lies for so long, you really have to create new truths for your brain to go to. And it's just filled me with 5 years of good, positive affirmations that I am pretty freaking awesome. And I do have awesome friends, and I have the capability of inspiring and empowering other women who are badass just like me. That's my story.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm all fired up again. That was amazing. I know, I wish Transformation Tuesday, like, yeah, the physical is amazing, but it's really always more mental.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Charity?
So I have multiple. I remember this one time in high school. I went to private school my whole life. And my senior year, my parents transferred me to a public school. So I went from a class of like 20 seniors to 720. And that was a cultural shock, because I grew up in a church, like very sheltered. And then here I am in like all of this. It was very crazy. People were very forward and just say things. And this one little Black African boy came up to me, and maybe he was trying to be, I don't know what he was trying to do, but his exact words were like, "Damn, girl, you thick as hell." And I was like, oh my God. And in my mind, all I heard was, and this was my own self telling myself, like, you're fat, you're ugly, you're all these things. And I'll never forget it because it made me feel like shit about myself. And I, from everybody else that I've spoken to about it since then, was like, oh no, that just means you look good, like you're solid, you're thick, you're all these things. And I'm like, I don't think so. So that was one thing that made me start questioning my own appearance and my own confidence in myself. And then after I had my son, I gained a crap ton of weight, developed an eating disorder after that, and then found Beachbody. And I didn't think that I would be able to be a good coach because I'm the girl that had the eating disorder. Like, how the hell am I, and who the hell am I to tell anyone how to do anything when I went through all of this shit? But it actually is what saved me because it helped me build a healthy relationship with food and learn that I can eat food without punishing myself or feeling remorseful about it and having to purge. And so I had that. And then I also had the limiting beliefs about having a team because I didn't feel like I was a leader. I didn't know anything about leadership. I didn't know anything about personal development. And it was a personal development that helped me step into my own greatness. And I'm like, I can lead a team. And now I am like, we're like this close to 2-star. And I feel confident in myself because of all the things I've done and failed at that have gotten me to this point. And if I would have been too scared to send that first invite or to post that photo or to talk about the eating disorder, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So you just have to like crush those limiting beliefs and just tell yourself that they're not real. They're these things that we create ourselves. So those are 3 of mine.
Thank you for sharing. I mean, imagine if like your coach was too scared to invite you. Imagine. It's crazy. Christy, you're up.
I don't honestly like have like one specific thing that did it. I started in charity. I've signed up with her probably 5 times and quit 5 times. And then COVID hit. And I was like, well, I'm at home. This is a perfect time to start getting into a routine. But for me, I was tired of bending over to tie my shoe and feeling like I was going to pass out. I was tired. This is funny, but it's true. I was tired of my underwear always rolling down. And then me always calling myself fat, and I got a big belly, got big thighs. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 25-year-old daughter. She doesn't live with me anymore, but my 16-year-old daughter has like all muscle, and she's like, look at this fat. And so I was like, okay, I need to quit doing that. And so I did really, really good for probably up until August. So I started in March of last year up until August. And then shit literally hit the fan, like so many different things. And I fell off for a while and I started back. And then other things happened. My daughter may have to have open heart surgery. My husband's got a lot of medical things. And I was just like, I can't do this. I just can't do it. Well, last Tuesday, I was in the car watching all my friends that I had become friends with through Beachbody, like Melissa and Charity and some other people just like rocking it and their before and after pictures and all this stuff. And I'm in my car and I'm just like bawling because I'm like, had I just stuck to it and done what I know I could do, I could be there. And instead, I'm still like at the beginning point. So today I started back. I'm like full steam ahead. And even to the point where my 14-year-old game-loving son that does not come out of his room is like, hey, Mom, I want to play football next year. I want to bulk up and gain muscle. Can I work out with you? And I'm like, yeah. So I worked out this morning and then we came home and we did lift 4. And he was like, at first he was like, oh, it's only 20 minutes. And I said, just wait. And so he had on a hoodie and a leg or sweats. And he's like, I don't sweat. And like 5 minutes in, he was like taking off the clothes. And he was like, okay. He's like, that's not too bad. It's only 20 minutes. He's like, I'm going to be sore tomorrow, huh? I'm like, yeah. And so I asked him, I said, are you going to do it every single day with me if I do it with you when I get home? He's like, yeah. He's like, can you take my before pictures like you do? I'm like, well, yeah. So now he's my driving force, plus my 25-year-old daughter signed up with me. I was like, hey, Mom, I want to do that with you. And I'm like, well, shit, now I got 2 of my 3 kids. I really got to get to work. And then Charity put a fire under my butt because she gave us a little incentive. And so I'm trying. So like I said, I don't have just like a bad experience that brought me this. It's just 3 kids, lots of weight. And I don't know who I am. I still have no clue who I am. I had a baby at 17. And so I've always been mom. And so now my kids are older and I have no idea what I like, don't like, who I am, who I'm not. And I'm kind of like you, Donna. It's not that I don't like girls. I've always had bad experience with girls, that they are drama and they're quick to backstab you. And I'm learning, like I've become friends with Melissa, I've become friends with Charity and become friends with other people. So I'm learning kind of like you that women aren't devil. They're not all devils. Some of them are, but they're not all devil. So that's my little story.
Well, congrats on your first day. That's incredible. It's only exciting.
2 workouts in one day. I'm not gonna be able to walk tomorrow.
That's so exciting. So you can rediscover yourself, which is like really exciting.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping because, like I said, I've been a mom for 25 years and I've never been me. You know, you learn who you are in your 20s usually, and I didn't have that. So it's like, I really don't know who I am or what I do and don't like. So I know through all of this, eventually I will figure it out.
Well, better late than never.
Yeah, true.
Thank you for sharing. That was amazing. And who is next on my list? Desiree. Can you hear me?
Hello. So I'm going to use one that's, I guess, really near and dear to my heart, if you will. I don't really have much of a warm market. That being because I have a lot of family on my Facebook, but I don't talk to them much. We had a falling out, I think 3 or 4 years ago. My grandma passed away and she left money to the family. And they started a rumor that I got all this money and they stopped talking to me. And anyways, so I pretty much lost a lot of people that I thought I was gonna have forever, you know. And when I started Beachbody, one of the cousins, she's not my blood, she's my uncle's daughter through marriage, and she reached out to me about Beachbody. She saw that I was having transformation, and I, instead of, you know, saying, oh, well, she did this to me, she hurt me and my family, I went ahead and I explained my program, and I got her to sign up under me. She's just, you know, just a regular customer, but she, you know, had I not put my feelings aside, I wouldn't be helping her right now, you know. And so I had to really dig deep. But she's doing it and she's happy, and I'm learning. Majority of what's going to come from my business is cold, and so I'm learning. I'm trying to get out there and put myself out there, and it's been hard, but I'm doing it.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's really something so difficult. I can't imagine like going through that. So that in itself is like probably making you a much stronger person, I'm sure. And the fact that you dealt with it in that way it speaks volume to your character. So, and you are going to help a lot of people. I can see that. So congrats. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path.
Thank you. And, you know, I had to really think about it, and I had to say, hey, like, you know, because she was this horrible person, like, I could have just turned my back and been like, whatever. But she told me that she had lost weight on keto and then gained it all back, like 30 plus pounds. And I just told her, I talk to her every single day. It's for me, and I don't have any negative feelings. I have hurt, but I'm in this business to help people, and I wouldn't be who I am if I wasn't helping. So that's what I chose.
Well, you're a much bigger person than a lot of people, so that's incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Melissa, you are up next.
Sorry, I have my phone on the charger and I'm here in a kind of awkward position. So can we go back to what you were asking at the beginning? Because I just want to make sure that I'm in line.
Oh yeah, just kind of something that stands out in your life that kind of like took that confidence away from you, and what how Beachbody gave that back to you in some way.
So for me, I don't know if it was any one particular thing that took the confidence away, but my childhood was very, maybe on the outside looked one way, but behind closed doors, it was different. And things that happened, how my parents were, how situations were handled, I think it just created this wall that I put up for myself. And how you said being so extremely shy. I mean, I was so painfully shy, and could never see myself like in this position of being a coach and putting myself out there and talking to people and having conversations and taking a leadership role. But just through this process and like you said, personal development, I thought it was so cheesy too at first. And I was like, oh my gosh, but as I started to do it, and you hear these messages and it makes you really think deep down inside to start addressing like some of the limiting beliefs that you have. And it's really helped me to start breaking down those walls that I've put up for myself. And so again, I wouldn't say it's just one thing, but it's just things that happened over time that just caused me to retreat. And I feel like through this, opportunity in this community, I've been able to start breaking free from that.
Well, that's a huge transformation for sure.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people all the time, like, gosh, when, because I don't have the biggest physical transformation, but trying to explain to people when you start this new journey and this new lifestyle, there's going to be transformations like that take place in such a deeper level that you could never imagine, or you might not think of, that goes way beyond, weight or anything physical that you may see.
Yes, 100%. They have to figure out a way to like make Transformation Tuesday well, I guess you could go live, and that's one way to get out of your comfort zone and explain. But yeah, it's just, you get numb to these Transformation Tuesdays and you see them, and some of them are, maybe from other companies, they're not real or whatever, they have the head cut off. So I think people are a little jaded from those, but and that's why it's so nice to have those conversations behind the scenes and really get to open up, and like thank all of you for being so vulnerable, because that's what drives people to make that decision to jump on board. I'm sure Christy wouldn't have jumped on board if Charity didn't explain her story on social media and for so long and being so consistent. So I hope when you guys, I think all of you are pretty, okay with, I'm sure, okay with inviting now, but if you're not and you're still struggling with that part, just remember these stories that you heard tonight and say well, I could not be helping someone like that. And to me as a coach, that is the most devastating part. It's the most selfish thing to keep it to yourself. If you know it works, if you know you love it, why not share it? and take the emotion out of it. 100%. Just do it. And then you build the wings as you go down. So I think we got to everyone.
I also
So
want to add that
the
if you
reason why
do,
I decided to invite last night everybody is because I had said, I don't know, something yesterday or last week. And she said,
she has
so
no
you're
more market. She needs to
Oh,
create
yeah, I
a
said I had
page
no
because
more market.
she's already exhausted all her resources. And then what did I say?
She said, who are we to decide who is willing to, because I only invited who I thought maybe would do it. And she's like, what did you say? Who are we to decide who does and does not need it? Is what I said, is what she said. Like, she's got a good point, because it could be somebody really fit, but not comfortable with their body and actually need it and just need that person to be like, hey, here it is. Because I'm actually super shy. I probably don't seem like it, but I am the first to just come out and talk to you. Like, if I'm in a group of people, I will be the one standing there not talking. Unless you come to talk to me, then I'm fine. But I'll never be the first one to come up and talk to you. So I'm like, that's a good point. So I blew up my email, my Facebook last night. My husband was like, Christy, are you literally doing everybody? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to ignore me. They're going to tell me no, or they're going to be like, quit. I got a lot of no's, but out of probably the 300 I sent, I think I got 10. Yeah, sure. Send it to me. So we'll see.
Then she's like, oh God, they said yes. Now what?
Yes. Oh my God. At lunch, I said,
you're like, okay, now what do I send?
You don't expect anyone to say yes, and then when they do,
you're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I don't want to do that.
No.
It's like you're almost quicker to respond to if they say no, to be like, oh, okay. But as opposed to when they say yes, then you're like, oh, and then you hold off responding because you're like,
And at the beginning, you will probably word vomit because.
Oh my God. So yeah, I had to ask Charity,
what
do I do? And so I haven't responded to anybody that said yes yet. I'm going to try to do some later. But I did it also because Charity said, because I was really bad if they said no, I'll be like, okay, see you later, bye. But if they said no, because I would say, okay, I understand, but blah, 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 blah. And and then I would just say, where I'm at. If you change your mind, something changes in your life, I'm here. So
it's really not no. They just don't have enough information to make a decision. And sometimes maybe it's just that they haven't seen enough consistency in you showing up for them to join. So that's why it's so important that we continue to show up, like no matter what, because they're looking at us to trust us to take them on this journey. And if we start and quit, and I feel like I can say that with you because you already told everyone that it is what it is. But you can say, you know what, like I'm back in it, I'm doing it, but I really could benefit from having you help hold me accountable. We can keep each other accountable. Then maybe this time I won't quit. And if I have people, that's what I felt like. Now I have all these people, I can't quit. Like there is no plan B. It's full sin, motherfuckers,
And that's how I am.
I talk about real quick was the belief of like growing through this during because we all have stuff that we can look back on and look what Beachbody did, but there will be times that you are faced with shit that smacks you in the face and makes you question what you are doing, question who you are, and you have to grow again and dig through it. Like I had a special needs mom in my community. I really try to talk to other special needs moms. And I had a fellow parent that our kids share the same rare diagnosis told me that I was exploiting my son to gain my business. And it killed me. Like she attacked me. Like it was way more than that. It was vicious. And I was in tears. It stopped me from inviting for like weeks. Like I had to step out of myself, realize that this was more about her and her own issues, but I had to really dig into personal development, focus on my true belief in what we're doing here, not just what I want to get out of it, but really honestly knowing that I am making a difference, that not only in my life, but in other people's life. And if I let that one person's negativity stop me, look at all the people I would have not helped. So you will be faced with people we're putting ourselves out there. So there might be moments that you are smacked hard in the face and have to grow again and rise above and become stronger and better versions once again. But that's why belief in what we are doing. And confidence in that belief is so strong to have. So when you get those wins, when someone sends you a message thanking you for being awesome, or look at what happened here, screenshot it, save it somewhere in your phone so that when you're having those moments, you can go back to those wins and remind yourself that you're not here just for you and your own goals. You are here to make a difference. And we do that through what we do as coaching.
Amen. I think, yeah, we can leave it at that because mic drop. So hearing all these stories, just like, that's why I love calls and like going to Super Saturdays and summits, because it makes you like realize like, this is why we do what we do, because of your stories. So thank you all for sharing and being super vulnerable. I think that has just helped everybody grow tonight. So go out there with confidence in yourself, belief in yourself, and help a shit ton of people.
Thank you, Erica. You did awesome. Bye, guys. Have a great night.